Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you're new to my channel, my name is Nikki Ryan, and on social media I go by the name of Fopaholic. I'm a mum to two twins. Two twins? I always say two twins. Obviously there's two if they're twins. I have two babies that are twins called Grayson and Lawson, and they are boys, and I had them through IVF, but I'm also into fashion, beauty, health, etc, etc, and a lot of food. So today's video is one that was suggested on Instagram. So I did a bit of a shout out and I said, what sort of stories or what sort of videos do you want to see next? And they said that they'd really like to see some facts about me videos, and I thought that was such a good idea. I think anything that helps people to get to know you better is fantastic. So I'm going to go through and give you just some random facts about me. So the first one, I was always a squash player when I was younger. I started learning to play squash probably from, I don't know, around the age of like 6. Both my parents were squash players, so me, my brother, we both learned how to play squash, and then we used to have coaching, lots of coaching. I played for the West Midlands, so I got into their squad, but my brother ended up actually playing even higher than that, and he represented England at one point, but he also played for the West Midlands and Warwickshire, etc. He was better than me. I was a good squash player as a child. Another little fact, I was really into sport, so I really liked squash, and then I liked cricket, I liked rounders, anything, you know, where I could hit something hard. I like to hit things hard. So squash, I didn't like tennis because I couldn't hit the ball really hard, otherwise it'd like go too far out of the court. So squash, it doesn't matter because you're confined to like the cube that you play in the court. And then obviously rounders, cricket, all those sort of sports, again you could hit balls far, which I like to do. So another thing, I used to sing. So when I say I used to sing, so it started off with a karaoke machine when I was young. My parents bought me a karaoke machine. I used to have a little piano and stuff like that, keyboard, not a piano, and I used to sing all the time. I'll never forget, I had this like sort of folder, and it had loads and loads of cassette tapes in it, and then the words, and then I used to put it into my karaoke machine, and I used to sing all day. And I used to sing things like a Prayer by Madonna, Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody. I used to sing, what else did I used to sing? Just all your typical karaoke songs. My favourite was Black Velvet. I always used to sing Black Velvet. So then as I grew up, when I was out and about, I used to do a bit of karaoke, and then I fell into musicals. So I used to do Godspell. I've done, what else have I done? It's so long ago, honestly. What else have I done? Oh, West Side Story, all of those sort of things. Only like, you know, like local productions, we're not talking like West End or anything. But I loved it. I absolutely loved acting, drama and singing. But as I got older, my brother got better and better and better, and he actually sings professionally. That's what him and his partner both do for a living. And I was like, oh my god, he's like amazing. This is actually quite embarrassing now because I'm nowhere near as good as him. And I kind of thought, do you know what, I need something to sort of fall back on if I don't end up going into acting or singing or anything like that. So that's when I started focusing more on like business. And then the problem is with anything like singing, if you don't do it, or drama, you start to lose your confidence in it, and also your voice is like a muscle, you know, you need to keep training it, and I didn't. So yeah, I'm not great now. I don't really do any singing now. I'd sing in the shower and that's about it. But yeah, it's just a little fact about me. Also, what else did I've made a little note on here. I've got tattoos. Now that's something that I know you shouldn't have like regrets and things like that, but I do regret them. I wish I hadn't had them done. So I've got a little one on my shoulder, I've got one on my side, I've got one on my belly button, and I've got one on my back, and I hate them all. Hate's a very strong word, but I do really dislike them. They just don't suit me. So many girls that I see with tattoos look absolutely amazing, but normally that's because they've been done recently or they've been done by someone like that's really credible. Mine were done when I was way too young and they're just awful. So yeah, I'm really not a fan of my tattoos, but I have them. Also, I suppose this goes back to the kind of like sporty side of me. I am a very competitive person, probably to the point where it's actually really annoying. So if we have like I don't know, a load of mates and we have a barbecue, we'll go and have a game around us. We don't do that very often, but we have, and I take it really seriously. And I have to win. Or when I used to work for Slimming World, I only recently resigned. If you've not watched that video, you might have just had a shock then. But when I used to work for Slimming World, we'd do like team sort of quizzes and competitions, and again I used to take them very seriously, very competitive. Don't care about the prize, not interested in the prize, I just wanted to win. And I just think that's something that's been inbuilt in me through sport as a child. Yeah, I've just always been very competitive. I've always done long-term relationships, so I've had quite a lot of long-term relationships. If you've watched my relationship history video, then you'll see that. So when I was younger, I dated a guy for 3 years, and then after that I was with a guy on and off for 10 years. He sadly passed away. He didn't pass away when I was with him, he passed away after that, which is just horrendous. Left 2 beautiful children, gorgeous you know, fiance, partner, etc. So yeah, that's just horrific. But yeah, we were together on and off for 10 years, and then after that it was 7 years. So I've always done like, yeah, I've always been in long-term relationships, and I don't really know why. I'm same with my career as well. Like, I've always stuck at things for long periods of time. I don't know if that's because I find it comfortable, I find it easier, I enjoy it. It's just how my life kind of like happened, really. So yeah, long-term relationship girl. In terms of like fears or things that I'm scared of, I absolutely hate wasps. So when I was younger, I was in something called the Corps of Drums, and I was in the colour guard. So I used to twizzle flags in the air and rifles behind my back and all that sort of thing. And once we were doing this like parade, and I got my flag and I went to flick it, and I flicked a wasp into my eye and it stung me, and I just stood there and was like crying, and everybody else just carried on marching in the band and stuff, and I got like whizzed off on a stretcher, which was really embarrassing, and I had to have my eye seen to. So yeah, I don't really like wasps anymore, funnily enough. I'm pretty sure my brother got stung. It was either in his ear or his mouth, I can't remember. So yeah, as a family, we're not that keen on wasps. I don't think many people like wasps, to be honest, but like I literally hate them. If I see them, it like scares me, or they make me angry because I just want them to just go away. And the other thing I've got a bit of a fear of, I don't know if you would say it was a fear of heights or a fear of falling, but I've had vertigo. So I'm not very good with heights. I'm fine in aeroplanes, I'm fine in a lift, I'm fine in like on roller coasters and things like that. But if you try and get me to sit in the circle in a theatre, you have got no chance. I couldn't even do it for all the money in the world. I wouldn't be able to do it. And any kind of like really steep escalators, when I went to Dubai, I couldn't go on any of the rides up to the really tall buildings like the Burj and all that, and there's just no chance. Yeah, I've just got this really strong fear of that kind of like fall, and I think it's all to do with my vertigo. So yeah, I can't stand anything like that. If I could live anywhere in the world, I'd probably stay in the UK. My husband wouldn't. He would definitely like to live elsewhere. One of my favourite places in the world is Barcelona. Absolutely love it. And there's other places that I love, but I wouldn't want to live there. I actually really like being at home. When we go away for like anything longer than kind of like a week, 10 days, I'm dying to get home. I'm not that sort of person that would just go off travelling for like ages and ages. I like my own kind of like home comforts, my own routines and all of that sort of thing. So yeah, I'd probably live in the UK. In terms of people that I look up to or like heroes, obviously my dad is my hero. All, you know, most girls their dad is their hero. But I am really into a guy called Gary Vee. I don't know if any of you follow Gary Vee. If you don't, go and check him out, he's amazing. I'm very much into like passionate motivational speakers. So I would prefer to watch people that kind of like, I've got to get up and go. He's an entrepreneur, like what he's achieved in his life is incredible, but he's also a very straight talker, so there's no BS with him. He'll tell you exactly what he thinks, and you know, I just admire a lot of the things that he's achieved and what he aspires to continue to achieve. He's very goal driven. He's very focused, but he's also very family orientated as well. So yeah, I absolutely love Gary Vee. So if you haven't seen him, go and check him out. I'm also very into The Secret. So I believe that's what's helped me be successful with IVF. I believe that's what helped me find Chris. I just believe in gratitude, and I believe in visualization and having a positive mind. I don't click well with very negative people. I just find it draining and I find it pointless. I'm very much into like positive thinking. So if you've not read The Secret, then go and check out the book. I'll try and remember to link it below. I always say I'll link stuff below and then I forget. Or you can watch the film on Netflix, but I'd recommend more so reading the book. Or what else shall I tell you about myself? I don't like surprises. I'm not a fan. If someone was to plan me a surprise party, I would not be happy. Chris knows not to surprise me because I like to plan what I'm doing, I like to plan what I'm wearing, I like to plan my hair. Like, I think being a girl, sometimes like part of the fun to going out and the build up is actually planning it all. So yeah, if someone was to shock me and surprise me, I'm sure I'd have a great time, don't get me wrong, but I would prefer not to be surprised. And then nicknames. So at school, my nickname, I didn't really have a nickname for a long time, but then I got stuck with one called Morgan, and it was, I don't know if you remember the brand, the clothing brand Morgan, but I used to wear loads of their clothes, so everybody just used to call me Morgan. So there you go. I have a very, very weird memory. I remember a lot from when I was younger, and then I remember everything from university, like stupid little things like, I don't know, the name of a street, or you know, what somebody told me like 25 years ago about their neighbour. Like, I would remember that. I'd remember their name, their surname, like everything. But since having a baby, or 2 babies, my memory's not very good anymore. I don't know how long that takes to come back. Does it ever come back? Does baby brain stay forever? I don't know. I'm box set obsessed. So I have basically completed Netflix, Now TV, Amazon Prime. Like, I've seen a lot of series and box sets. I love just getting lost in like gritty dramas. So I prefer anything to do with like crime or murder, or you know, anything that's quite racy. Like for example, I love Sons of Anarchy. That was one of my favourite box sets ever. Like Ray Donovan. I've honestly, it would take me forever to list every single box set that I've watched. I just love a really good box set. I've just watched a series called Euphoria. That was really good. I also like Suits. I like, yeah, loads and loads and loads and loads of different box sets. I love cars, so I'm really, really into cars. Before I worked for Slimming World, I worked in the motor industry, and I used to get to drive loads of different vans and cars, and I'm a really confident driver. I absolutely love, love, love driving. I don't do public transport only because I have this ridiculous fear that I'm going to get on the wrong train, I'm going to get on the wrong plane, I'll fall asleep while the train's moving and then miss my stop, I won't get a seat. I don't know, I've just got this weird thing about going anywhere on my own. If I'm with other people, I don't care, but I'm just not a fan of getting the train to, like, say London or whatever. It's easy, I've done it so many times. I won't do the tube, so I just know that I'd get lost if I, you know, go on loads of different tube journeys on my own. And I have done it and I've been fine, so I don't know why I've got this thing about it, I just have. So yeah, cars I'm very, 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 very much into. I'm gonna yawn, I'm so sorry. This is what happens when you're a mother of twins. Okay, I'm really, really, really bad at maths. Like, embarrassingly bad. So although I've got a degree, I've got a 2-1 in business studies, I had to retake my GCSE maths because I got a D. English, drama, all of those I got A's. Science and maths I was useless at. and I just didn't like it. Like, I never got maths. I don't know what it is. It just all like jumbles up in my head. And to be perfectly honest, I think it's a lack of confidence with numbers. I think I panic that I'm going to get something wrong and look stupid. So yeah, I'm not a fan of maths. I really hate it. I retook it and I passed, and that's why obviously I could then go on to do my A-levels and my degree. But yeah, just not great at it. Give me English or drama or anything like that any day. And then have I got anything else to tell you? I think we'll probably leave it there, because that's quite a few things, isn't it? Oh, I'll tell you one thing I was going to say, because this is something that I haven't spoken about, and maybe I need to do a separate video on this. But yeah, a little kind of like fact about me post babies. So like I said earlier, I'm very much into like positive mental attitude. I've always, you know, been that sort of person that's not really a worrier or anything like that. But ever since having babies, that has changed slightly, and it's only really when I'm out and about. So when I'm driving now, although I love it, I get this weird, like, I suppose it is sort of anxiety, where now I'm not just responsible for me, I'm responsible for them. I start worrying that like a lorry's going to crash into me, or I start worrying that all the people around me won't know when to brake after I've like used my brakes, or you know, there's going to be a fire or something like that. I just have these like really weird thoughts, and I've never ever had that. So I'll be really interested to know, and it's probably something I need to do another video on. Did you experience that after children? Do you have all these like really weird thoughts? Because I believe that thoughts become things, so I have to like get them out of my head really quickly, otherwise I'm, you know, worried that I'll attract something really bad. But yeah, so I've never ever struggled, and I'm really grateful, with any kind of like mental anxiety or mental health issues. I've never experienced that, and I know that's like seriously debilitating for a lot of people, and this is just a teeny tiny thing. Like, I'm not saying this is something I'm like really worried about or anything like that. I'm not you know, like, oh, woe is me type about it. But yeah, it's just something that I've started experiencing recently. So yeah, I'd be interested to see if other people, or hear about other people's experiences with that as well. So I don't think there's anything else to tell you. I think that'll do for now. It might be fun to do like another questions and answers video. So obviously I've just like blurted out loads of like really random facts about me. But if there's anything you'd actually like to know, any questions that you want to know some answers to, obviously keep it positive, keep it light. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm not inviting any sort of judgmental stuff here. But if there's any questions that you think that I, you know, would be happy to answer, then please pop them in the comments below, and I'll do my very best. So thanks so much for watching this video, guys. It is a little bit of a rambling one, but I prefer to do a lot of these things, you know, fairly spontaneously. I just wrote a little bit of like, in terms of like bullet points of things that I was going to talk about, but I don't like things to be scripted or rehearsed or anything like that if I can help it. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video of me rambling on, and I will look forward to seeing you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe, and thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.